Yuji Naka joining Square Enix.
And
Yeah, that's
just so you guys know, we are currently live. This is Gamers at Large number 84. You guys can introduce yourselves or not, but we can continue this conversation.
You know who the hell it is. Come on, let's get into it.
Yeah.
well, I mean, I haven't been around in a while because of life circumstances, but I'm here.
Here he be.
Hey, look, man, you know when it comes to gaming and your life, gaming comes first, right?
Yeah. Tell my wife that. But let's see how long you survive that conversation.
Well, look, I'm pretty sure your wife knows you love her, and that's all that matters.
And I see your child as the guest star.
She's supposed to be going to sleep, but she's like sitting over here talking behind
That's
me.
like the complete opposite of sleep. That's more like ready to attend the podcast.
Go to bed. Nothing to see here.
Try to covertly join in.
Well,
I
we
got
were
something
talking
to say.
about the whole Atari thing that you actually posted about earlier today on Google Plus,
Yeah.
and I have to say, like, my response to that was, it's not even really against Atari. It's in general. I'm not funding anything that, as far as Kickstarter or whatever, because Ukulele, Project Cars, they rub me the wrong way, and I'm just, even though I didn't fund those, I don't look forward to funding literally anything at all because they don't have to keep their promise, and that's
Well,
been proven.
That's the
I
problem.
mean,
Yeah.
I'm gonna fall the other.
If they were legally liable to, like, okay, if you don't do what you say you're gonna do when you say you're gonna do it,
You have
then
to
you have to
refund
give back all that
funds,
money
yeah.
and then some, I'd be like, okay, I get it. But we have seen more than a few examples, such as Project Cars, where they take your money. And it's not even the worst. I even heard Jamie Butterworth, mention a few that he's funded, and like 5 years later, the game still didn't come or whatever. So to me, it's like, if you can literally take my money
and run
and not do anything with it,
yeah.
or not give us what was promised, and there's no legal ramifications for that, I'm not giving you money.
I can understand where you're coming from, but here's the thing. Here's what I'll say. I have funded some Kickstarters that actually did deliver what they promised. So I can't say, I would say that doing Kickstarters is in my opinion, I don't mind doing a Kickstarter for a small, indie team that has a dream or whatever, and they do something that's reasonable. What bothers me about the Atari thing is that even though Atari is just a brand name now, it's not what it used to be. It's just someone selling you a brand name. It's like they're trying to put Roller Coaster Tycoon on the Switch. And there's a problem with that because anyone who's played Roller Coaster Tycoon knows that the game is it's always been on PC, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's best with the mouse and keyboard for that, honestly.
Yeah, because you're designing stuff and stuff like that. And also, it's good on PC because on PC you can mod it. Like, you can add weird stuff that normally wouldn't be in the game. Like, hey, I want to do Simpsons Land. Yep. Or if you're perv, I want to do boobs and titties land or whatever. But I mean, you get what I'm saying.
Or recreate Mr. Bones' Wild Ride.
Or you could do this is the Nightmare Before Christmas, the ride or whatever. Like really, this is a game that you really want to play on PC or on a robust online ecosystem that rewards modding and modders and stuff like that. Which, I mean, the Switch is a wonderful console, but it does not, it's not an open ecosystem for that. Plus, from what I heard from people who have Roller Coaster Tycoon, it hasn't been good in years. Like, Planet Coaster is apparently better than Roller Coaster Tycoon, so I don't,
Yeah, that's horrible sounding.
Planet Coaster is better than Roller Coaster Tycoon.
No, I mean,
I've never played Planet Coaster, but the name just sounds boring.
Well, I mean, the reason people say that because I mean, I'm not one of those people who's like heavily into Roller Coaster Tycoon, but I have friends who were into that game like for PC, and from what I understand, Roller Coaster Tycoon, like, Atari over the years has been stripping out things that used to be part of the core thing and then adding them after the fact.
Okay.
Like
so like when you
standard-
get to the Sims.
Like, you know how like back in the day in certain games you could go into first person mode and see how things were going.
Yeah.
Like they took that out, and that was like a core thing. It's like you build your roller coaster and then you go in first person view and ride it and see what needs to change. Like this turn over here is not working, this dip isn't working, and they took that out. I mean, just basic things that they had, you know, in 98, 99, 2000, you know, it is now a premium thing now. So I mean, you know, I don't know, man.
That was it, like EA did to the Sims. They just started stripping stuff out slowly but surely, and then make it available through a paywall.
Yeah. Hey, you want to have kids? Hey, you want to have a swimming pool so that you can make your sim go swimming in the swimming pool and then get rid of the steps so they can't get out and they're forced to swim forever until they die.
On the subject of tycoon games, with crowdfunding
Y'all some cool people doing that to y'all Sims. Sorry.
Well, that's what people do in the Sims, really.
On the subject of crowdfunding campaigns for tycoon games, there's another one called Prehistoric Kingdom on Kickstarter, which is supposed to be like Zoo Tycoon, but mostly the dinosaur edition.
So it's basically Jurassic Park, the game.
basically.
Here's the thing: there's
build your own Jurassic Park.
But here's the thing: there's gonna be another dinosaur Zoo Tycoon simulator, which uses the Jurassic Park IP, and both simulator games are competing against each other on the same year.
Okay.
And you got two groups arguing whether or not which is the better simulator.
How do they know if they're not out yet?
Well, that's when you're forced to look at the pedigree of the people working on it. Like, people always get mad when you say that. Well, it's about the pedigree, but it is about the pedigree. Like I supported the Kickstarter for Shadowrun. Okay, the Shadowrun Kickstarter was run by Harebrained Studios, but a lot of the people involved with it had been in the industry before, and the guy who was in charge of it was a guy who helped work on that god awful person shooter for the original Xbox that no one wanted. And he admitted, he's like, look, listen, it was a corporate decision. Microsoft made us do this, and I'm sorry for making that. And he admitted it was garbage. I'm sorry for making that. I want to make a Shadowrun game that's like the actual, RPG that kind of brings that to the the gaming world. And he did. And Shadowrun Returns and Shadowrun Hong Kong are two really, really freaking good games. So, I mean, it's like you have to look at the pedigree of the people working on it, and have these people worked in the game industry before? Are they kind of shady? You know, like the Shenmue guy. Like, I wouldn't trust anything he made, because almost like he's known for Shenmue, which is a game that notoriously went over budget, and Sega. I mean, it helped drive Sega into bankruptcy. Like, why would I trust his game development skills? It's like, how's Shenmue 3 going? It's great. I need some more money though to bring it back.
I almost forgot about Shenmue 3.
Well,
I mean, they did just recently post some stuff about it, but that wasn't that long ago, and it didn't really look all that interesting. I mean, the character models looked better, but that's about all I got out of it.
Here's the thing: Shenmue is this game that people are like, Shenmue. But Shenmue really, like, I'm sorry, Shenmue's just, I mean, it was great for the time, but Shenmue, as it is now for modern gaming, there are games that do what Shenmue was trying to do better now, like Yakuza. Yakuza is a better version of Shenmue.
It is.
Like,
They would have to rebuild. Like, to be honest, they would have to rebuild the whole series from scratch in order for it to be up to par today.
But that's the thing, they don't. They have Yakuza. It's like, I don't want to play Shenmue where I have to get in order to play a fake video game, in order to play a real video game, I have to get a fake job in a video game in order to complete the thing. I mean, at least with Yakuza, it's fun. It's like, okay, I get to take this girl on a date to a karaoke club and sing in bad English, which is hilarious. It's Kazuma Kiryu, this Yakuza dude with this friggin' dragon tattoo on his back. It's like, I get to raise this orphanage full of kids. I get to beat up some thugs who made the mistake of messing with a Yakuza dude with a dragon tattoo on his back. it's fun. It's like Shenmue. I'm sorry, that game was revolutionary for its time because of the what they were going for, but it's really not a good game. I know a lot of people love it, but go back and play that game. It's rough.
So going back to about the debate between the groups supporting both of those dinosaur park simulators, the group who supports Prehistoric Kingdom are bashing Jurassic World Evolution. That's the name of that Jurassic Park simulator game for still using scientifically inaccurate dinosaurs.
Well, here's my question: which game is gonna have a sexy Ian Malcolm with his shirt off going and saying "Life finds a way"? Yo, Dr. Grant, is this your girlfriend? I'm totally gonna take her home. And that'll be the better one.
I'd hope neither of them.
Yeah, which one has Jeff Goldblum? Because the one that has Jeff Goldblum is the winner.
I know that Jurassic Park Genesis doesn't have Jeff Goldblum's character, but they do have Dr. Grant.
Okay, well, I can deal with that. As long as he gets to frighten some poor kid with a raptor claw, then I'll be. Dinosaurs are stupid.
Now he's only there to excavate fossils for you to clone dinosaurs.
Damn. Can I get Muldoon? Is Muldoon in there? Can we have him get eaten by a raptor?
Yes, Muldoon's in there, but no, he's only there to help you support controlling like shooting dinosaurs, like tranquilizing them,
is Dennis Nedry in there? Can I get his ass eaten by a Dilophosaurus?
No, Dennis Nedry's not in it.
No Gennaro? No. Damn, what type of Jurassic Park simulator is this when I can't get people murdered by dinosaurs?
Wait, you never played Jurassic Park Genesis at all?
Well, actually the Jurassic Park game that I'm most familiar with is the one for the Super Nintendo that was like an over the top game and then turned into
I own that copy.
Yeah, that one, and then the one that was on PC that was kind of like a Zoo Tycoon type of knockoff, except it was dinosaurs.
Yeah, that's the game I was talking about, Jurassic Park Genesis.
I didn't call it. I don't think it was called. Well, maybe it was called Genesis. It was a long time ago since I played that game.
It's called Jurassic Park Operation Genesis, and Jurassic World Evolution is like the spiritual successor to it.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah. Then that's probably going to be the one that's going to end up being better.
Yeah, because it actually has. Because I mean, here's the thing: is like these are both being kickstarted, or one's being worked on, the other one's being kickstarted.
No, one is being worked on, the other is being kickstarted. Prehistoric Kingdom is the one getting kickstarted.
Okay, then. Well, here's what I'll say. I think both of them will come out, and each one will appeal to different people. Probably the Jurassic Park one will probably be a little bit more casualized because they want to get a larger audience, whereas the one that has that's more scientifically accurate will probably appeal to people like myself who actually like scientifically accurate dinosaurs. Although I have to admit, I still will say this. That damn T-Rex from the first Jurassic Park is still a badass. I know it's not scientifically accurate, but they should have left Big Bertha alone. I know that's not her name.
Well, you're in luck because recently this month there was a new documentary saying that the T-Rex only had like quill-like hair on top of its back. Everything else is just scales.
Well, yeah.
And he has orange eyebrows.
Not really surprising. I mean, dinosaurs, especially, a lot of the more predatory ones are in the raptor family, like birds. Not really surprising.
There is something I did want to
like cuckoos, like the cuckoos from Zelda.
Yeah.
Hey. There is something I do want to bring up briefly, and I just watched the video today. I've been watching them over the past few months. I just watched another one today, but this Destiny 2 fiasco.
Oh, what happened?
I need Bungie and Activision to Go ahead and give up now because they are literally trying everything they can to screw over the players while trying to do EA stuff in the background, and it's not working. The players keep finding their little exploits. And my thing is, I even watched the video of Young Yao today where he said that a lot of some of the biggest Destiny 2 streamers are like jumping ship. And I'm thinking, you have a company that has literally tried for the last 2 to 3 months since its release to stifle your experience in one way or another. Why are you still even remotely attempting to get enjoyment out of this game? Because they have let you know that their purpose is to do what EA's been doing, but with the Star Wars Battlefront Backlash, they're just trying to do it on the low. But even he said, Bungie has been, they've done multiple things and have gotten caught red-handed every time since launch, and they gave the same excuse every time. That wasn't the intention. Something went wrong. No, BS. You did this on purpose. You're trying to get a lot of money out of your game, but what's going to happen is it's not going to work.
Well, the people
Activision decision, though, honestly. But Bungie just got to take the rap.
Yeah.
I mean, but even still, it's like at the end of the day, they need to go ahead and stop trying. Your fans are trying to tell you, look, give us a straightforward and fair experience. Even if the experience includes DLC, be fair and straightforward about it. You're going to end up with another Battlefront 2. And honestly, I hope it goes that route for Activision, not so much for Bungie, but for Activision. You need to learn a lesson too, especially with that whole patented thing they came up with a few months back about microtransactions and online lobbying system.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I mean, at the end of the day, oh snap! At the end of the day, I think what we need to take from all of this is this: 3 things. First, half of Bungie, which is essentially what Activision got, is not that good, because Destiny and Destiny 2, I mean, they're okay, but I mean, if people were thinking this was going to be the next like Halo, basically, I'm sorry, no, this is nowhere in no way, shape, or form is this the next Halo. Oh snap. And and the second thing is, I mean, this is Activision, dude. I mean, this is what they've been doing
for years now.
Yeah, they buy things and then they basically run it into the ground until they suck the marrow clean from the bone and then throw it into the trash. I mean, they did it with Tony Hawk, they did it with Rock Band.
I just need them to honestly look. I'm speaking to the gamers out there. We're all fans of particular games in which we'll even support, although they may be doing something, at least something slightly anti-consumer. But people, understand something. You already gave them your money when you bought the game. And you see they're trying to get more money out of you despite the fact that you've shown your support and purchased the game. At this point, you really do need to simply take a stand and say, you know what? I'm not buying. I'm not playing it anymore, because when that stops, they can no longer come out of E3 and say, Destiny 2, there's been over 2 trillion bullets fired. We've had over 600 million videos shared. Gamers have played over 2 billion hours of Destiny 2 since launch. Like, if you put a stop to your support right here and now and stop playing the game, they can't brag about those figures, and that means the game is losing steam, and even the franchise could die from that. But it starts with you.
Well, the thing that gets me is that these people are like, man, we're complaining. It's like, you shouldn't have bought the damn game in the first place. Like, okay, for a game like Destiny or Star Wars Battlefront 2, don't get it day one. Wait. Let someone else take that bullet. I mean, I hate to say it, but let somebody else, let all the BS come out, and then you decide after the fact. Because most of these first-person shooters, or any type of heavily online shooter, it's really not going to be, when a game launches, that's not the same experience that the end result is going to be. It's going to take a while for everything to come out and for it to kind of gel for what they're going to make it into. So why do you people constantly just punish yourselves like that? I don't get it. And then they're like, you gave these people your money. They have shady business practices. And now you want to complain, man, why are you screwing me over? They've been screwing people over. This isn't something new. I don't get it.
Neither do I.
There's a lot of people that want to do the impulse thing or do the popular thing, which is the new game is coming out. I have to have the new game in order to be able to keep up with everybody else. And I'm sorry, I'm not worried about keeping up with the Joneses. I want to play good games, and I want to play them when they're at their best, not when they come out like you need 50 million patches to fix the one character's right eye that blinks funny because you walked into the room at the wrong time.
How do you take you to patch to fix the one character's right eye that blinks funny? That is
you
so
walk into the room and his eyes rapidly blinking like he got some sort of syndrome. And
that sounds like Mass Effect Andromeda. My face is tired. What?
Hold on. Well, speaking of patches, I heard that the controversial Monster Hunter Worlds is going to need a patch, of course, to enable online play and a number of other things when it releases on Xbox One and PS4 this week.
Really? Xbox One?
And guess what? Yeah, it is. And you know what's so funny to me? This game is going to flop on both those systems. It's going to sell, but it's not going to move 2-3 million units. It's not going to sell anywhere near DS numbers.
Well, Capcom has been betting on the wrong horse for almost all of the 8th gen. They've been betting on the wrong horse. We're gonna make what was that game? The zombie game? Forgot. With Frank West.
Oh, you're talking about Dead Rising.
Yeah, I was like, we're gonna make this game exclusive to the Xbox One. I'm like, why? Like, who on the Xbox One actually likes, like, this game was made on the PlayStation and the Nintendo consoles. Why is this on the Xbox One? I don't know, but they paid us, and we're putting it on the Xbox One. Then they're like, okay, we're gonna make Street Fighter 5 exclusive to the PS4. Like, why?
And PC.
And PC, yeah, but does anyone care about the PC version of Street Fighter?
It's the exact same game. So I mean, either way, no one cares.
I mean, that game flopped on everything. It flopped on PC and it flopped on the PlayStation.
The company I'm mad at though is SNK with putting King of Fighters 14 on PlayStation exclusively first.
Oh, speaking of SNK, I noticed the SNK Heroines game that's coming to Switch. I haven't seen anyone cause a backlash of that game's announcement. Like,
it's King of Fighters with just the female characters. It's not.
Yeah,
in other words, no one cares except people like us.
And it's a little casualized. You know,
I've seen.
I was expecting the same backlash like with Shin Megami Tensei Cross Fire Emblem.
No, I've seen plenty of people about positive things about that game. I guess because there's a lot of people that like those characters. But
I guess, I mean,
I personally, some of them I'm okay with. I'm not okay with all of the female characters in there because some of them just have odd move sets. But that's me because I actually enjoy fighting games.
No, I thought it was because of the old "it's not okay when Nintendo does it" excuse.
No, I actually haven't.
Why would it be? It's on PlayStation 4 as well.
Yeah, it's not just on Switch. It's going to be on PS4, and I think it's also coming to PC.
Yeah, I think it's more like SNK. SNK just doesn't have the same type of it doesn't have the same type of fandom as some other franchises. So,
they really don't. Even though a lot of their games are a lot of this stuff was on par with Capcom, but it's just like SNK really got the fan base.
Like, here's the thing: the best SNK game, even the ones that are technically better, but I mean, when people think of 2D fighting game, the first thing that comes to their mind is Street Fighter. Yeah. So even though SNK technically on a technical level has a more
robust.
I would say a more technical game because to pull out some of the moves for Fatal Fury and Art of Fight, you use a little more ball input.
When I think of SNK's fighters compared to Capcom's fighters, I always look at it as the same, and people will probably not agree with this. I always look at it the same way you could compare Tekken to Virtua Fighter. Whereas Virtua Fighter is more traditional, and it's not saying a bad thing about it. It's like Virtua Fighter is more traditional and a little bit more simplistic than Tekken is.
Yeah.
Whereas I would say Street Fighter is a little bit more simple and simplistic than SNK's fighters. That's not a bad thing. That's just how they work out.
And some
say that against Sprite.
And some core fighting fans
forget Sprite's feelings.
And some
caught up in his feelings.
And some core fighting fans think that's that the more technical fighting games are better than the casual ones. And I mean, for gamers, that may be true. A gamer wants something with some more depth to it. But for Joe Blow, average consumer, they don't want to have to get a strategy guide just to play a fighting game. You know what I'm saying?
Look, speak of the devil.
Oh, snap. I should have kept my mouth shut.
So who summoned me in attack mode?
Who's from Sprite Remix? No, we were just saying that, like, a lot of people think that more complicated games are better, like the more technical games. But here's the thing: commercially, the more technical a fighting game is, the less commercial success it has because the barrier to entry is higher. Like Street Fighter 3.
But then you have hardcore fighting game fans concerned about this, how simplified the systems are, fighting games are becoming, just to appeal to casuals.
Yeah, because basically, the more you casualize something, the more the hardcore are kind of driven away because it, I remember I loved Soul Calibur. Soul Calibur was one of my favorite games. Soul Calibur over the years has become far more casualized than it was in previous iterations. Like, they added a super meter and all this other weird stuff. And it kind of, like, the more technical aspect of it, to me, kind of drove me off from it. Like, I couldn't just go and, like, use a blade clash or a parry or anything like that. It became very, it became very much just almost like, a more casualized game. Now, I mean, that may have gotten more people into it at the time. I mean, not really, because the sales kind of went down over time, but
I think that kind of killed the series.
They casualized it too much. But I mean, I know why they were going for the casual experience, because they wanted to basically, like, what a lot of gaming companies don't understand is that you don't have to dumb things down to the point to where it loses everything, because that's the fun of playing a game. Is, yes, initially it may be a little intimidating, you might not understand it, but as your skill level goes up and you get more into what you need to do in order to go from point A to point B, it's like, wow, I'm actually getting good at this. I know what I need to do in order to go from point A to point B. And once they understand that,
they're just gonna find that right sweet spot.
Yeah, I mean, like, okay, right now I'm talking to you guys on this podcast, but I'm also just sticking around getting stuff in Xenoblade Chronicles 2, right? And I mean, I will admit, when you first play this game, the combat system can be a little
inundating.
Yeah, it can be a little intimidating, but over time, you get the mastery of it. And now I'm at the end of the game. My entire party is like level 99. I beat the game. I'm just doing side quests. I've mastered what I need to in order to play this game. So now it's like, this wasn't that difficult to get into. But at the time when it first started, I could see where people like, this is not really, this is kind of, I can see where people were like, well, this is kind of, this combat system is kind of complicated. It's kind of intimidating. Personally, I think this combat system isn't nearly as complicated as X.
when I got into Xenoblade, when I first got into Xenoblade 2, I wasn't entirely afraid of the new mechanics because I was already used to playing the original Xenoblade game. So the new mechanics were a bit of getting used to, but I was able to learn it quickly. But the only thing I was struggling during my first hours was trying to activate the chain attack until the game told me how.
Yeah, they just kind of.
Yeah, it's the funny thing is, and I actually pissed me off about it, is that when it first shows you the chain attack and it tells you to do one, you're like, oh yeah, okay, cool. I now know an ultra powerful way to use my characters when I'm in a pinch. But then you're unable to do it for like 2 or 3 chapters. It's like they let you do it to say what it's like. You can't do it again until they unlock the features. Like, don't tease me like that. Don't do that.
Yeah. I mean, but they kind of do that in this game. But this game, that's one of the flaws of the game. They tell you, hey man, check out the special ability. Like this isn't really a spoiler because I'm not. But like in the last part of the game, there's literally like you're at the last part of the game. They're like, oh, and by the way, you can use this ultra powerful attack against enemies. It's like, why are you telling me this now? I'm at the last part of the game. What's wrong with you? Like, I could have used this 2 chapters ago, mofo. But
well, I do want to talk about this before we get carried away. But Nintendo Labo.
Imagination.
I know that reception has been kind of split, but to me, I think it's split in a really dumb way. But at the same time, I appreciate it. I'm going to buy it, of course, because I think it's going to be exciting. To me, it may be something I play for maybe a month and I don't play every game. Never know. But to me, I do love the concept. I think it's going to be exciting to some extent. But Nintendo has basically let us know this is for children and adults that are kids at heart. Like, so
they dumb it down for people stupid enough to understand that.
Did you guys see that meme on Twitter where
y'all gotta be so mean?
Well, we know what it is.
There was a meme on Twitter.
I don't think this is for people that are kids at heart. I think this is for people with that like little construction-y type things. And people who have kids.
But have you guys seen that meme on Twitter?
No.
Which one? There are thousands.
It's millions. Conversation. It's like Nintendo says when Nintendo Labo's for kids. He said, yeah, but how? But but.
Oh, you talking about that one? How would this do something work for me or whatever? How would this satisfy my needs or whatever?
Yeah. And I said,
"Wait, this is for kids. Like, but how would it make me happy?"
Are you talking about the cardboard waifu comic?
No. The meme where the meme where a person can't understand that not every game is supposed to be for them.
Oh, yeah, I remember that one.
Yeah, not every game is for everybody. Like, there's different things for different people. Like, I know a lot of people have been enjoying Mario Cross Rabbids. I played the game for about 20, 30 hours, and it doesn't do anything for me. I know some people love it, though. So, not everything is for everybody, this isn't one-size-fits-all gaming, okay? And there's nothing wrong with that. Not every game should be for every audience. Madden has a very specific audience. Not everyone likes Madden games. Same thing for everything else. So that's just the way it is.
No, but again, the reason I said what I said is because people are so into the me so much that they gotta inject themselves into it all the damn time. And so Nintendo was just saying, you know what? It's for kids and kids at heart. If you understand that, this is for you. If you don't understand that, you're too stupid to get this.
Now,
move on.
What I will say, listen, I admire Labo for what, for the business side aspect of it. I admire what Nintendo is trying to do. I also think business wise, it's genius to sell people a $70, $80 set. A cardboard, some strings, and some rubber bands
Yep,
that-
and tell them how to do it and cut it
No,
precisely. Yep,
I'm not
that's
talking
right.
about that. I mean, it's brilliant to sell it because it's built-in obsolescence. Because if you have little kids and little kids like to tear up stuff, they're gonna break this in about in about a month. I mean, it's brilliant to sell something.
Well, here's the thing. They don't have enough discipline.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Look,
Try and tell a 4 or 5-year-old, hey, be gentle with that. Oh, broken now. Oh,
Hey,
well.
I see some 4 or 5-year-olds were actually like that. They were disciplined enough.
I know that, yeah, but
Some
like I said,
will.
some are do this, some are not.
You want to know the sad thing? There's more likely to be more adults breaking these things than children.
No, children, I think so too.
It could be. I don't know. I have no idea.
I can almost guarantee it because there'll be some dads, and I'm sorry, I'm going to admit this. There'll be some dads like me who will spend the time putting it together.
Yep.
And then they'll want to play it. But unlike me,
exactly.
they'll be extremely tough on it and thinking it's got like infinite durability or something, and then they'll go to punch one time with that robot arm on and completely just snatch the cord out.
That could happen. Like I said, I'm glad that Nintendo is. I'm glad that Nintendo is basically doing their thing. I'm glad that they're still doubling down on augmented reality versus virtual reality because, I mean, I'm just gonna say it right now. Like everyone who keeps on pushing this, man, VR. I'm like, please stop. Just stop.
For those who
Nintendo level to me is nothing but they found a way to combine both AR and VR in a way that doesn't require expensive technology or having 1080p screens in front of your eyes.
And for those who still think VR is the future, go look at VR chat and see what a mess that has become.
Oh my God.
VR is the future, but not in a practical sense of gaming. It'll be a while before it gets to that point.
To me, I'm not gonna get into VR at all until and I hope I'm alive for this, but until it gets to the I would say the state it was in that movie Gamer.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought
Like the whole room is like VR/AR.
No,
then
man.
That's not getting to VR. But until
I'll tell you what's gonna be the future of VR. When we get Star Trek holodecks, that'll be
shut up.
Everything
man.
else
But
is not working.
that would be VR and AR as a combination, not just one or the other.
Yeah, just putting some stuff on your face and sitting in a room. No.
Where you're blocked off to everyone and everything around you.
Yeah.
Like,
until I can do a hollow novel where I'm Sherlock Holmes. I'm sorry, it's not VR.
Until then, enjoy your Exotic Knuckles invasion.
Hey man, look man, they saved a dude who was having a seizure. I'm not gonna sit there and say, oh no, this is completely invalid. I'm just saying, it's a way of people hanging out. It's basically a form of a Google Hangout, except they have instead of just pictures talking, portraits. It's characters. I have nothing against that.
But
which character are you gonna be? Which character are you be using if you ever had VR chats?
Really? You're gonna open that can of worms?
Look, no
one.
We're going to shut that one down here.
Yeah, no one.
Nobody.
I'm not going to be in it, but I'm not gonna shit on people who use it. Here's the thing. I don't care about people using virtual reality chat. What bothers me is gaming companies saying this is the future, because every time they say this is the future, like 95% of the time, it winds up being some failed product that doesn't do anything. Have you noticed that?
For some reason,
Yep.
I have to say, even though most of us here are Nintendo fans, we're putting Nintendo in there too. Because look at the Virtual Boy.
Yeah.
Okay, and guess what they learned? It's not a good idea.
There's no practicality to it yet. No, they learned that.
Unless you can do something that's so revolutionary or so easy to use and not obtrusive. But we're not there yet because all the other VR is some expensive ass headset you have to buy and have this dynamite rig in order to run. It's like, It's not. It's just not. It's not practical at this point. And I mean, and here's the thing: the genres that would benefit most from VR, they aren't even big genres. It's not a big moneymaker. So I don't get it.
Well, see, that's why I'm not in like any hurry to try anything with VR. It's just like it's going to get there, but it's not there yet. So it's not a big deal.
Nope.
Most of the stuff that's on most of the games on VR are playable without it. So like you could take all those job simulator games that are on VR right now and throw them on the Switch, and you still be able to play them the exact same way.
Mm-hmm.
Well, like I said, yeah, they want to have the immersion, and just that's all it is.
Yeah. But like I said, I mean, there are genres where it could work. Like, okay, if they made a game where you're a detective and you're trying to, searching crime scenes, interrogating people, checking stuff out, okay, virtual reality would work well for that. Or an adventure game, first-person adventure game. Like if they did a Shadowrun game, not Shadowrun.
That's a great way.
Sorry, Castle Shadow.
I would say that's a great way to bring back CSI.
Well, you could use it in Professor Layton as well.
Yeah,
too.
I mean, like games like that, but those games are very niche. And I mean, if you told someone, "Hey, I want to get the new Castle Shadowgate game," where it's like you're in this arcane horror, dark place. But guess what? Before the game itself is $60, but then we're going to charge you in order for you to play this game. You need a headset that's like $200, $300. I mean, seriously, what?
I would say that, and then also you could put in racing games because people spend the money for that.
If it's done right, because I've seen one example. Whew,
oh, you must be
no, it could be done right. It could be done right. I've seen, like I said, I've seen it myself with my eyes. It could be done right. So it is that, but like Red said, there's not many games. Like, ain't no way you be playing Mario 64 or Mario Odyssey with all the jumping and stuff and flipping you gotta do. You will get vertigo.
Yeah, you'd get.
You will get vertigo.
You'd be puking into your expensive ass headset. Oh Lord, don't let that be a headset you borrow from somebody. Hey man, I'm gonna use my headset to play this game. Hey man, what happened to my headset? You better get this shit dry clean, son.
Yeah, so it is.
Go ahead.
Go ahead, Andre. No, go ahead.
No, I was gonna say that's why even though it's made out of cardboard currently, I'm kind of behind the concept of Labo because they can take that concept and use better materials later on and make other games that instead of you being pulled into the game, they're pulling parts of the game out to you as the player.
But that's what that variety set basically shows.
Yeah. And if they did that with like better materials, like harder plastics, that you can do the same thing with, build the pieces and put it together and use your Joy-Cons with. There's a lot of potential for future games down the line.
I'd say that's probably what I would say that's probably what they're going for. I mean, the cardboard is like the first step, as in for babies, and then the do-it-yourself communities. Well, they can make their own material and use their use their stuff as base for the Labo, which
but that's not.
You don't have to buy that. You don't have to buy another card for it.
Yeah, but that's not VR. That's augmented reality, which is augmented reality is literally a fusion between VR and what's actually you have in front of you, and that's something Nintendo's been doing for years. Like even before everyone thinks it's the Wii, but
I'll say this:
card games, those games for the Game Boy Advance with the card e-reader, and you could like swipe it. That was AR even back then. So.
Yeah, I would say this, and I would say this, like being that this is less than April 4th, so basically a year and a month that this Switch been out when this comes out. That for all the stuff they did, and I'm happy that they put use for people who want because I myself has taken part of them Joy-Cons. Like I said, taking them apart and looking at the bitmap and all the stuff on the circuit board and everything, and see how Nintendo. I still want to know how the hell they do freaking HD Rumble on that thing. I'll say right now with the technology and what I saw, yeah, we're getting you people. Everyone, Joy-Cons people bitching about it's $80. Nah, it's a steal. You get it for a steal. I'm sorry.
Oh yes,
that technology is ridiculous underneath them Joy-Cons. You're like, how do it makes? I don't get it. It really is.
But like, it doesn't matter because they're overpriced.
If you could create that, if you could recreate that by with that form of a factor, and you could recreate that, then my hat is off to you. You are a very good reverse engineer. But hey, the problem is, like I said, I was looking for something I was looking for the bitmap. I was looking for something that would make me think, how the hell they get the HD Rumble on this circuit board? Because there's nothing vibrating, nothing pulsing, nothing. I was like, but I know what I feel when I play the games. It's like, how they did it.
So basically,
how they did it.
I mean, so basically, they found a much more efficient and infinitely smaller way to do what those rotating rotary knobs have been doing in our controllers for vibration for 20 years.
Yeah, and you know what the hilarious thing is? Like you figure this out because like one of the best is with the HD Rumble is really what really gets it, because they're like, I was like, man, that's just a marketing ploy. And then I played Mario Odyssey, and you go to Bubble Beach, and you go into the fizzy waters, and it feels like you're literally
feeling the bubble.
in the fizzy water. It's like,
well, hell, it's not even that. Like Triple M knows, like when you beat one of the bosses in the game, which is a dragon. Sorry, but when you beat one of the bosses, I went back to that same stage and stand on the dragon. I'm like, why am I feeling the dragon's heartbeat? Nintendo, why do I need this? It's not needed. It's just not needed.
Yeah. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. But do you think those Joy-Cons have some sort of device that makes like a sound wave that trebles the device?
Can be sound. It's not sound. I could tell you, looking at the circuit board, that's not sound.
It's the rumble, son. Although technically speaking, sound is vibration. So.
Well, yeah, I understand that, but I have the Joy-Cons. The reason, again, when I took it apart and I use it still, still had power. It's still using, and I'm using it. Of course, it's not broken. I'm just saying. I am looking at the circuit board to see the vibration, see where I'm seeing it. And again, yeah, it's to me, I see. I mean, and also the form factor. Like I said, there's a lot of mini screws in that daggone Joy-Con.
Oh yeah,
a lot of mini screws.
I mean, really,
they're not even a centimeter in length.
I think that's where the expense really comes in, because it's the technology. I mean, really, the gamepad itself is really not that, it gets the job done. It's that HD Rumble and the functionality of the Joy-Cons and the Pro Controller. Like I went to this site and this dude's talking all this garbage. Man, I'm gonna pirate the Switch and I can just play with my Xbox One controller. And like he's like, the Xbox One controller is the same size as the Pro Controller for the Switch. And I was like, dude, the Pro Controller for the Switch is much heavier than the Xbox One controller, and it's got a lot of tech packed into it. Okay, like an insane amount of tech packed into it.
Yeah, I'm just saying, it is.
It's heavier than the Xbox.
I don't. Yeah, I mean, because you have the batteries. Because you have the batteries.
Oh
yeah. Oh, Xbox One controllers don't have batteries in them. They don't have batteries built in. You have to put batteries in them or buy a battery pack to use.
I have a wired Xbox One controller, and it's wired. It hooks into your Xbox One and your PC, and I mean, it literally is not nearly as heavy as my and it's not just because of the battery. It's because of the amount of tech that's in. Like you pick up a Switch Pro controller, it's got some heft to it. It's you could, if someone attacks you, you can knock them out with this.
Well, yeah, it is heavier than the Wii U Pro controller. Yeah, that's true. Because that's having both.
I have a question real quick though for all you guys. And you actually brought this to mind. Now you say, of course, there is a way you can connect the Wii U Pro controller to the Switch, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
What if there is a way, and this would be a very cheap way, that you can literally connect the Wii U gamepad to the Switch?
Oh snap!
It also utilizes.
I think you can.
It uses Bluetooth 4.0. We do know that for its Wi-Fi direct for the video streaming source. But if you think about it, now I know it requires
I don't think
information to stream from the Switch to the controller, the gamepad, and the Switch may not have that built in. But even still, if you can connect the Wii U Pro controller, which is Bluetooth 4.0, I would assume you can do the same thing with the gamepad to some extent.
Hold on though, I think the gamepad wasn't Bluetooth. It might have been 802.11, a variation of it. I don't think it was
for what?
Bluetooth for the gamepad to be used on the Wii U. I don't think that was Bluetooth. I remember hearing it was a different connection type because it wasn't Bluetooth as far as I remember.
I heard it was like a very safe and locked down Bluetooth 4.0.
I mean, it quite possibly could be, but I remember hearing it was like a Wi-Fi connection. That's why I was thinking it was 802.11 in some form.
Well, there's a simple way to figure it out, shall we?
So if Shadow was here, he could tell us.
Not really. You don't really need that. There is a way to find out. Very simple.
Really? Do tell, my friend.
It's called.
I am doing it right now. Nah, he is right. No, Game Idea is right. It is Wi-Fi.
Okay, yeah, I knew it wasn't Bluetooth because someone tried to augment the connection before to hook the gamepad to PC, and they tried using Bluetooth first, and it didn't work. I remember reading that somewhere. I don't remember where I read it, but I remember reading it.
No, so then so they can't. So and even so, you would need a certain character. You would need you're not gonna hook it up. Because with the Wii Pro controller or PlayStation or Xbox, you need to, for the wireless dongle, you need to connect it. That I'm using Mayflash. You need to connect it straight to the thing first. You can read everything off the controller, and the Wii never came with that attachment, like to do that. Gamepad.
Although it would be totally cool if Nintendo came out with a peripheral that you could essentially.
Do a dual screen.
Yeah, with your Wii U gamepad. Now, I mean, it would just be really cool. I don't know if it would happen, but it would be cool. That's it. That's all.
Come on, man. Nobody wants that. That's a gimmick, remember?
Yeah, like that touchpad that no one fucking uses on the PS4.
PS4 controller.
That's innovative, man. What you talking about?
So, what you guys want to do with the game?
That the GameCube controller adapter was compatible with the Switch.
Yeah. You can use your game. So
you use it.
The GameCube. If they do a GameCube Virtual Console, there you go, folks. You can play your GameCube games on your GameCube.
Yeah, it's usable. You can still use it on there. Hell, I can still use my GameCube thing on the Switch if I want to. So yeah.
And for those people who just will not let go of the GameCube controller, they just can't let it go. You know,
there's like that's pretty much every Smash Bros. Player.
That is the preferred controller for Smash throughout history.
Well,
that's just it.
To be fair, the GameCube controller is really good. I mean, I'm not gonna lie, it is a really good controller for a lot of games.
Yeah, that's for certain games, but again, I mean, like right now, when you try to use, well, not now, because if you use a GameCube controller, well, of course, it was never built for it. But I remember that I see people videos try to use GameCube controller for Switch games, and I was like, yeah, no,
that ain't gonna work.
You're missing the buttons, and you're missing, of course, the feature of the gyroscope and everything, the gyros and stuff. So that don't map well to the control.
And on top of that, like even Nintendo was surprised. It was like, wow, we didn't, because they was like, wow, we didn't know that this new update allowed GameCube control support.
Well, it probably was USB control for like different devices and stuff that Nintendo was aware of and didn't really give a, they weren't angry if people were using it.
It's too bad that these people think that this is a sign that we're going to get a Smash 4 port.
Well, if it is, it is. I mean, I think it's going to come just no time soon.
It's a possibility.
Yeah, it's a high possibility. That's why I'm working on nothing. So
it's not one of those. Sakurai doesn't like ports. Yeah. I mean, the reason why Brawl was made is because he didn't want to port Melee into the Wii.
I want Sakurai to work on something else he may be interested in.
And that's what he's doing.
He's already
and that is what he's doing.
Okay. Because at this point, look, I love Smash. I really do. But if they do bring the Smash, man, it's like, look, let this man work on something else. And to me, the easiest thing, yes, port Smash 4. Let him work on something else. I want to see what else he has up his sleeve because I know it's something.
I mean,
I need a break from Smash. I'm just gonna say it right now. I need a break.
But to me, Melee is what 15 years strong.
Yeah, it's 17 by this point.
17
years strong. Okay, and then Brawl is still doing decently well, and of course, Smash 4 is. It's like let Smash 4 go on for another 4 or 5 years, please, please. But I want to do. Here's what I do want them to do. Whoever is going to port over any Smash game, you guys are gonna laugh when I say this, but I've said it before. I want them to port over Melee and patch out all the bugs.
No, I hear you. I'm not gonna laugh.
And then hold on, not just that. I want them to make it where you can only fight with all items on. You can't do no
that thing of that. No, you can't do that. You can't do that.
That is trolling.
I want
fix the game. Fix the game. I understand, but doing that, no.
Not some competitive dick measuring contest.
But see, the thing is, like all these people are clamoring about a Melee HD, but they fail to realize when games get remade, they fix like all the bugs and stuff from the original material. Yeah, that tends to happen.
Not all the time.
Yeah,
but not all the time.
They don't want a remake; they want a virtual console experience.
Yeah, They want a virtual console game, and if they do, they do.
Also fun to suggest that competitive Smash players have a lot more fun playing Smash without items than with items.
To each your own, bro. That depends on the person.
I don't mind it. It doesn't make a difference to me. I just don't like people telling me how I should play my games.
Exactly. So everybody plays it differently.
That's why they're customizable for a reason.
Yeah,
like if you want to have your experience, you have your experience, but let me enjoy mine. That's all we got to do. They each their own.
Now, the question is like, because Doc was like, Sakurai needs to work on something else. I know he created Kirby, but does he still like direct like the mainline Kirby games? Like
I don't think he does.
No,
I don't think he has in a long while.
Yeah.
No.
I mean, I'm pretty sure he texts in the teams every now and then. They should have gave
the last 3D. The last major 3D games he has. He was an executive producer, but no, he is not like Kirby Battle Royale. He just based. Somebody took over that one, but Deluxe and Triple Deluxe and Planet Rover, yeah.
Yeah, but you couldn't tell because I mean the people at HAL know how to make games, so
Yeah, they're pretty consistent.
They don't have that drop in quality where it's like, man, you let the bus boy cook this meal. It's not like that.
Yeah, I mean the Kirby games are just fine without Sakurai.
Yeah.
No, they are. The Kirby games are not that. They're not like a super difficult, whatever. It's their design is still something wacky. Basically, throw something back. I remember when I talked to the people because OJ asked me this question, and I was like, basically they throw rocket designs to figure out a way because Kirby's such a no pun intended, but that's what he said. It's such a malleable character that you could use it for almost anything and figure it out.
Yeah, I looked it up.
His
last Kirby was the Amazing Mirror in 2004. That was his last Kirby.
That's a fun game.
That was Kirby's era.
That was 2003. And then ever since then, it's basically been Smash Brothers and Kid Icarus Uprising.
Yeah, I can see he's tired of Smash Brothers. So, you know.
Again, and I'm down. I am down with him to bring. I know people. If there's any port that I will gladly buy day one, I ain't gonna lie, would be Kid Icarus Uprising for the Switch. With those Joy-Cons.
I've heard a lot of people say that though, because that game has been underappreciated.
That game has the best antagonist ever. I just want to play. I mean, I can play anytime, of course, but have Hades again, and oh my god, I will buy that and no heartbeat, and it will be better with the Joy-Cons than that touchscreen. The touchscreen was good, but just the way they were working, the Joy-Cons would have been better.
Oh, what game?
Or the Wiimote.
Yeah.
Kid Icarus Uprising. Yeah, the Joy-Cons work better. Your hands wouldn't cramp.
True.
Hey, I told you guys, if you want better Joy-Con support, I told you go buy those PDP grip things. They're like plastic covers that fit over the bottom. They give them so much more like girth that they feel like holding a GameCube controller almost individually. They cost like $7.
I have no problem with that. So I don't have no problem with my Joy-Con, so I don't need it.
But it makes them much more ergonomic. Like it really feels like you're holding a hefty controller. But they're
but we were talking about how that game was on 3DS, not on the. It will be enhanced. On
the Switch would be much better because you'd have the Joy-Cons and you'd be able to use your hands more comfortably.
And you can point to where you need to point with the IR sensor. You point when you need to point, and then when you need to melee select, it will be way better with the Joy-Cons. Hell, you could even put like, I know people ain't gonna like this, but I mean, put this when he has the slashing whatever with the as an option. Not that you don't have to do it, but I'm just
with motion controls.
With the motion controls, yeah. You could do that with the motion controls, with his slash with his sword or the claws or whatever he has, or the guns. Of course, you could shoot with the IR sensor. So yeah, so I like you have that in the game. I think that would be but again, I'm basically talking about when we had the video with the podcast about 2016 about what games would work on the Switch. So, but I'm just since we're talking about Sakurai, that would be the game I would like him to like port over. Plus, still working on a new project, of course.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I want him to I want to see a totally original project that he just throws everything to the wall and we see what's in his brain. Yeah, I have a feeling it would be an amazing game to play
because he is a part of it. Yeah, Sakurai is a part of the crew of Hideki and Suda51. Like that's his generation of the game design people.
Oh, you mean the what the fuck crew?
Basically, because they are best friends in real life.
I mean,
they're good friends in real life.
I mean, I don't know about Hideki Kamiya because I mean I think his games have solid games, like Suda51. All those games are what the fuck. It's like, come on, man.
But they are fun.
But he has crazy ideas. Hideki got the crazy ideas.
Yeah. Play one of his games though, you are playing his game.
Oh yeah.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
Like they're not. I've never played a game by him that's been bad. I've played games by him that made me question life a little bit.
It's part of the WTF crew. It's like I can't believe. Like I remember playing God Hand, and I was like, this game's really fun. And then I got this new special move from the roulette machine, and it was like, it looks like my character's raping this bad guy. It's
yeah, that reminds me of No More Heroes.
Recharge
that katana. How the hell you recharge that katana? I'm like, oh damn, am I doing this? Am I really doing this?
The original Shake Weight, people.
No, you were not tied into Nintendo.
He said the Shake Weight. Dang. Wow. But like I said, hell, I would say if I get the money, I would give all three of them. Hey, you guys are good friends. Make a game, all three of y'all.
That would be the most what the fuck game ever made.
Look,
I would love to see what they come up with, though. I would love to see what they come up with.
I would totally play it, but think about it. Goichi Suda's insane ideas, Hideki Kamiya's sense of gameplay, and
fast pace.
And Sakurai's ability to put that shit together. Oh god,
yeah,
that'd be insane.
What about the guy who made that Lollipop Chainsaw game?
Excuse me.
That game felt like an unofficial side story for No More Heroes.
Heroes, yeah.
Which game? Lollipop Chainsaw?
Yeah, Lollipop Chainsaw. Although I like Shadows of the Damned better.
Then there's a Killer is Dead. Nightmare Killer is Dead is definitely a No More Heroes inspired game.
Oh yeah, Assassin Association, all that stuff. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But
I think that's a whole different game from Killer 7. They did that too. I think that's entirely different.
No, Killer 7 is different. No, it has the No More Heroes flair, but it is different because it's the shooter and all different whatever. While the way that some of the 7 characters were like ridiculous, it's just like when you look at the people who Travis Spencer had to fight, you're like, huh? you're basically, as Travis Spencer says, so you're a football star. I gotta fight all your hoes. Oh, this ain't gonna be great.
Oh my god!
I like No More Heroes. My favorite thing about No More Heroes, though, is like a lot of people think the sequel's kind of weak, but I was like, I like that the sequel actually had returning characters and there was history involved. Oh yeah, like I like they brought back Destroyer Man. Except there's 2 of them because they took the 2 halves and cybernetically enhanced them.
Put them together.
What? Yep. It's like this insane bastard from the first game was back.
Yep.
Destroyer B. Like,
no, like another thing I liked about the second game as opposed to the first, you actually played with other characters, even though it was brief.
I would
love a Shinobu game. I would love a Shinobu game.
Just take out the platforming part. Get that refined more better. That was a little difficult.
I wouldn't say take it out, but refine it, make it better, and actually give her like a series of ninja moves that she's lacking. That's all you got to do for her.
Yeah, cause she was. I mean, some of her moves was pretty good, and again, you got your hands chopped off. You got cybernetic hands now.
She's Luke Skywalker.
Basically doubled.
But yeah, the platforming for her that was probably
that was not the best part. Yeah,
it was a little rough. It was a little rough.
Yeah, it was rough.
Yeah, it was rough. But she was a fun character.
Yeah, she was.
She was. Yes.
But if
I just found it hilarious. She was like, Travis Touchdown is my master. It's like, really, this guy? Okay, fine, whatever.
Well, she did beat her.
I'll talk about what she was trying to do. I'm not even going to go there.
Shinobu was kind of cool. She was kind of. I liked her massive afro though. That was kind of cool.
White afro.
Yeah. It was
hold on. I got a thought that I want to propose out just to put this out there. If we get Hideki Kami, I'm about to say the same person. We get Hideki Kamiya, 251 and Sakurai all together to build a game. I want them to do a Shinobu game together.
Ooh,
the 3 of them to build a game around her in the No More Heroes universe.
That'd be cool.
That would be sick.
Because then
you say Hideki Kamiya. Who else?
Suda 5 Sakurai.
Okay.
Because then the platforming could be on point. But then on top of that, it would have the wild out there dialogue, and then all of those cinematic but strange moments that Suda's known for.
Yeah, you know but what about Itagaki? Can he help?
No.
He's not a part of. Itagaki's older than them, and his style of design is different from those 3 for sure.
But then you'd have the action that would be on point and high octane all at the same time.
Yeah,
you're saying this now, but that happens in 2018. I think you need to be the next Miss Cleo.
What?
Oh my God.
No, but we just all of us just put it together. Like I said, that's what, because I know when I was over in Japan, and again, those guys know each other. Like I said, they know each other. They've been out with each other. They talk like the way they design games is something they talk with each other many times with. So that's why I like them. Like to see how they are. They think differently, but they have kind of niche, as Andre and me read, and Andre just specify how they are. They can work together, and they're cool with it.
Yeah, if they made a game, it would be very it would be a very well made game. But I mean, because I've played a lot of Suda51's games, and his games, like even his games that you think would be more conventional, like Contact. It's a kind of like a Secret of Mana, Secret of Evermore style RPG from Suda51, and it's really good. I mean, it's obscenely good how good it is, and it has a really good twist halfway through, and it's like, damn.
I think my biggest problem with games from them, people tend to ignore them for some reason. Well, you got a good game in front of you, but you would ignore it because it's not the most popular thing instead of just trying to try it out.
Because they're very niche. I mean, like I did a video a while ago about how like Okami is one of the best non-Legend of Zelda games you'll ever play, and yet most people haven't played it because reasons. I don't know why anyone didn't play Okami.
Even though the game reviews well. Okay, hell, the opening week of Okami HD last year on PlayStation and Xbox was 16,000.
Well, you know, I think one of the reasons, and I read this like when they originally came out, a lot of people didn't like the fact that it had a lot of text in it. And since there's no voice acting, gamers today of this generation and last, like they're lazy. They don't want to keep reading everything. That's why to me,
I can understand that, but remember the game came out back in like 2005, which
I mean, but even then, like, but even then, it's like they didn't care for it because, in my opinion, like they're just lazy. They don't want to read.
Let me put it this way.
I think opposite of what you just said, because I could come up with games that have way more, just as much text or even more, and sold better than Okami.
Like The Witcher. That's a text-heavy game, and it sold well.
I would say Zelda is one of them.
Or Paper Mario.
Yeah. So I can't. So I don't think it's that. I think the art style.
I did one on the wrong. It was on the wrong platform. That's why I think it was.
First of all, it was on the wrong platform. Second of all, the art style kind of put people off because it's like, what is this? Even though, I mean, to me, Okami is a very gorgeous looking game. Even on standard definition, it's a gorgeous. Yeah. Art style is very on point. The gameplay is, like I said, it's a Legend of Zelda game, except it doesn't star Link. It's a Legend.
You don't have a traditional fighting system because that system is different.
Yeah, it's a very in-depth fighting system. What?
It's basically a clone of the Wolf Link gameplay from Twilight Princess.
No, not really.
No,
it isn't. Actually, it is not a clone of Wolf Link gameplay.
It might have the same character because that Wolf and the Link, whatever, but the gameplay is different.
The gameplay is
different.
Very different. Yeah. I mean, literally, Okami is a very, very good game, and I would tell anyone, if you're watching this podcast, if you get a chance to get it, it's on PC now. You can play it in glorious HD, 4K almost. Oh no, it is.
Well, you can do you can you can do the same thing on PlayStation 4 Pro because that's why they released the HD or D version of the damn game.
Yeah, and so
why?
And it's $20.
Capcom sometimes.
Yeah, I got it on PC. At this point, I've bought this game twice for the PS2, once for the Wii, once for the PS3, and now once again for my PC. I've bought this game 5 times. Now you can't say I didn't do my part to support Okami. Shit.
Yeah, I bought it once for PlayStation 2 and twice for the Wii because, of course, I said one with my sister. But yeah, I mean, it's just crazy. And it's sad that, again, the opening week for a game that like this, again, the opening week was 16,000. That's
pathetic. Yeah, and the thing is like I said, Okami is a really I know a lot of people are like, man, I don't know why this game didn't sell well or why this game bombed. Okami is a very well made game. It's yes, the art style kind of puts some people off, and the subject material. You know, if you're a Japanophile, you'll get more out of it.
Japanese.
Yeah, because I mean, literally, it uses a lot of the Japanese Shinto folklore
and folklore. Yeah. Yeah.
And so, like, if you're not a Japanophile, it might be a little off-putting. But just like The Legend of Zelda is essentially a lot of the Arthurian legend of the sword and the stone and legendary heroes and wizards and all that stuff. Well, I mean, you know, Okami is a similar style story, except it takes place in a Japanese culture, a fictional folklore, a little bit steampunk Japanese culture, and it's really, really friggin' good. And I mean, I don't. You know.
No, the story's pretty good. I like the story's pretty good on the pacing, and again, the ending boss of that game.
Yep.
I was looking for the typical thing. I was surprised when I played it the first time. I was like, wow, this is how much. Jeez.
You're like, I did not see this coming. Like the final boss of Okami, you're like, what the fudge is this?
Yes.
I did not see that coming.
And that final boss also appears as the final boss for Tatsunoko versus Capcom.
That is true.
Yeah, but that is true. But that's only half the forms you gotta fight.
In Okami, he is insane. He is. I mean,
you have a lot more forms to fight in the original game. Holy crap!
Speaking of Tatsunoko versus Capcom, can we get a second one of that, please?
You ain't getting that with license. You would not gonna get that with licensing.
I would love it, but that would be a licensing nightmare.
Yeah. Look, I think it would be worth it, though. Honestly.
Yeah, you pay. You go ahead.
I'm not too confident so long as Ono is responsible.
Let me put it this way. Personally, I would rather just have another Soul Calibur game with console specific characters. But you know, whatever.
I did a video about that too, not like a couple years ago.
Yeah, I would love to have another one of those, but
people are afraid.
Bandai, so.
People are afraid of that happening though. For some reason, they think that having console-specific characters is a bad idea. I don't think it is. It's a good idea.
They worked before.
Let me put it this way, because we all know the highest selling one, which would be the highest selling one any damn way. So it's a moot point.
I don't know
if they use. I would say if they use Fire Emblem characters.
Nah, man. There's only they could have Fire Emblem characters, but people would want that game because it would have Link in it.
No, like what I would do if seriously, if I were to do it and I made the next Soul Calibur game where I was in charge of picking the characters, I'd have
the Soul Calibur games. It's like the only franchise where I know that Noctis would make sense rather than Tekken.
Yeah, he would, but if I was going to do Soul Calibur and I was picking anybody from Final Fantasy, and this might be the most cliche one, but
it would be Cloud.
Sephiroth. I would go with Cloud and Sephiroth because I would set it up so it's like, and I did this in the video. I did talk about this in the video.
But Andre, Sephiroth's sword is too long for it.
You can work around that. You can work around that. I mean, Ivy's sword basically detaches as a whip.
Hold on. Have you forgotten about Siegfried?
No, if they
large claymore.
Yeah, if they could put Yoda and Darth Vader in the Soul Calibur, then Sephiroth and Cloud Strife wouldn't be a problem.
Which the lightsaber can't even melt those weapons.
Which, I mean, despite that, if you're gonna do Cloud Strife and Sephiroth, then hell, why don't we go deep into the Squaresoft roster and get Chrono and Frog in there too? No, I was gonna say Chrono and Frog from. You could add Cyan. He's a sword master. Although, would Cyan really want to be there? I think he'd be pining for his dead wife and child.
Or one of the protagonists from Dragon Quest.
You could go old standby Loto. I mean, sorry, they renamed Erdrick, but I know him as Loto. They go Loto. They go old school like that. I don't know. Like, here's the thing. There's so many awesome characters that could be in that. On the PlayStation, you could have Cloud Strife and Sephiroth. And maybe you could add Kratos because for some reason that's all they got.
Kratos and Zeus. Yeah, so
Yeah.
Kratos and Zeus.
Yeah.
And then
could
for
have,
Nintendo do Skyward Sword Link and Demise.
No,
Oh
man.
snap!
It's gotta
Yeah.
be Twilight Princess Link and Ganon.
No, I won't put Demise. I won't do Demise. I would put. I wouldn't put Demise. I will.
You're forgetting.
I will. No, I will.
You're forgetting one critical thing, man. If they gave this Soul Calibur, they gave each version exclusive characters, you're gonna have everyone pissed off in Nintendo because they have the best characters.
I would have said. You would. Yeah, I don't say that.
Because honestly, Nintendo can put in 20 Fire Emblem characters, Link, Zelda, anyone from the Legend of Zelda universe.
And here's the thing:
They
if
can do
give you
so
the-
much, and all Sony can do is add Kratos. They'll probably throw in Nathan Drake with a gun just for the fans.
No,
They'd be completely broken.
Microsoft
No.
proud.
And
Master
you know what?
Chief
I
and
can
the Arbiter.
see Halo. I can see Halo them giving that beam saber
Arbiter.
to Master Chief.
Yeah, Master Chief. And the
No,
Arbiter.
if I was gonna pick anybody from Halo, I wouldn't even pick Chief. I'd pick the Arbiter.
Yeah, because the Arbiter makes more, and give David Keith a job for a little bit, so he can, because that dude's voice is so badass. I don't even need him fighting, just that voice. I'm going to have to kill you now. Oh shit! Okay, I'm going to be over here, David Keith.
Just like for example, I know for a fact that Nintendo will probably even find a way as DLC to include Travis Touchdown.
That'd be
they
cool.
Oh, that would be messed up. Put Travis.
That would be cool. That would be totally.
Yeah.
I'm not even gonna lie. That'd be
Yep.
badass shit.
That would be cool.
That
So
would be totally cool. Yeah.
If this Soul Calibur ends up doing the same thing that Soul Calibur 2 did, I'm telling you, even though every other console is going to have their own exclusive characters, they're going to be pissed that no Nintendo characters made it to their console.
Look, that's not my fault. I'm like Reggie said, it's not
Yeah.
my problem.
Be compassionate.
Not my problem.
Yeah,
Look,
it's not, and it
not my
wasn't their problem back then, which the game sold. So it wouldn't. Why would it be now?
It's not. Look, let me put it this way. Personally speaking, I would
doesn't
love.
deserve this kind of treatment, man. They don't
I
deserve
would.
it.
All right.
I would. They earned it. They have the hottest selling console of 2017, and it looks like 2018 thus far is shaping up to be the same way. So, I mean, they deserve to get the support. Personally, it would be cool to me if they went 6 playable characters for a Soul Calibur with console exclusive characters for each of them. So then everyone gets something cool. Although, I mean, if you're Microsoft and Sony, that's a bit of a stretch, but you could do it. You could get Spike from Ape Escape, give him his little stun saber. You could have Pop Rapper hitting people with a
I don't want to see Nathan
skateboard.
Drake. I don't want to see Nathan Drake pull out a keyboard knife. Okay, I don't want to see that.
You could have
No,
you could have Sir Dan Fortescue from
And you know what? I can see it now.
See the sword.
They're gonna have Marcus from Gears of War with his chainsaw gun.
No,
Nah.
I mean,
You know what?
Nah.
I go with
Microsoft, you
that.
probably have the Arbiter and maybe
Actually, a better choice for Microsoft, and I just thought, like, I know I said this in my video when I did it, would probably just be to take
Cameo?
Jago and Gargos from Killer Instinct.
yeah, Jago, be Orchid with her Tonfa things.
Yes, those yes.
Yeah, that would work. They could just take you could take Spinal. He's perfect for Soul Calibur.
Yeah.
I mean, he'd fit right in. Shit.
Yeah, he would fit right in.
He's
All right,
here's hell though.
Here's what. Can
we
I
got
just
Baldo.
let me run this by her real quick, just because I had thought, like, I did this, like I said, I did the video a while back, and my thought process was have a pair of console specific characters for everybody, but had, like Red said, have 6 guest characters. So for each console, there'll be 6 guest characters, and then each console platform has their own 2 specific guest characters.
Oh, I see.
So for Nintendo, I thought
That's
Link
gonna
and
be really
Demise.
hard for Nintendo, and you're gonna have all the fans pissed that it wasn't what they wanted.
Well,
It don't matter.
I won't say Demise because Demise barely was a fighter. I'd rather use of course.
I would prefer
Not
Twilight
Demise.
Princess
You know the
Ganondorf.
most in-demand character is gonna be the 2-sworded Ganon.
No. I mean, he's
Nah.
cool, but I would like Twilight Princess Ganondorf because it would be cool for his character intro for him to pull that damn sword from out of his chest and start the fight.
That would be a
That
quick
would be
intro.
badass as hell.
Yeah.
We might as well go with go with Wind Waker, Ganon, and he could pull it right out of his face.
Yes, smart ass.
Oh gosh.
No, I mean, just think about it.
You know another character that'll be cool, and this would actually upset a lot of people, but it'd be so cool if they put Ninjaro from ARMS.
He's not really using weapons at that point. He's just using his hands.
Yeah, like I mean, but
his default weapon is like Ninja Star likes. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, but
they won't fit in it. Can I get like that?
Think
They'll
about
make
it.
it. They'll find a way because Link was
it
OP as hell.
Well, yeah, but he's still a weapon-based character.
Yeah, but the
with projectiles galore.
Yeah, but the fight starts and like like Link, like Ganon has this little cinematic, and he's like, "So you think you can kill me? They've already tried, and I destroyed them." And he takes that sword from out of his chest, and the fight starts.
Do you think the blades in Xenoblade Chronicles 2 would work in Soul Calibur?
At that point, you're just taking character. Like, I mean, some
would work, but it won't have the gravitas of like a Link or
or Ganondorf. You're gonna have all the waifu
or Roy.
I want Pyra. I want Mithra. Like,
no, they.
I think it don't work. Like I said, like you have, like I said, like Link or maybe Ike or Roy or Marth or something like that. You have something more substantial with that. Or like you said, Ganondorf.
What are they gonna do? They do a Fire Emblem character. We're gonna do just rip straight from the Smash moveset.
If they do a Fire Emblem, I want anyone besides Marth.
No, I got a good idea. No Fire Emblem characters. Why don't they add 2 characters who started out big on a Nintendo console, but not necessarily Nintendo specific characters? And I'm talking, well, why the hell not? Frog, Chrono, and Magus.
Probably Yu Hayabusa from Ninja Dragon.
Would it be so? Now I know this is almost impossible. It really is. I will admit that. But what is so wrong with taking the Smash Brothers route? But I would love for it, the major companies that have really renowned IPs to contribute to like have one character to contribute to all the consoles. Like for example, you said the 6 guest characters or whatever. Okay, so what if, like for example, Square Enix contributed Auron from Final Fantasy X? Not Cloud, but like Auron, someone other than Cloud. And then you have someone like maybe, I don't know, you can have Platinum if you want, if it's not too broken, or Capcom, they can do Dante.
Or then, Zero.
Yeah, exactly. Like they can do something like that. But you have multiple companies that submit 1 or 2 characters.
Yeah. That'd be cool. You know what? That would be cool. It was a miracle enough Project Cross wouldn't even happen. So hell, if it was if they get something close to that, then okay.
It would be a licensing nightmare, but it would be cool if it happened.
Yeah.
Hey, we got Metalman in the chat saying Assassin's Creed guy for Soul Calibur.
Which one? There's a different one in every damn game.
I think Ezio
of course,
popular.
Ezio will be the
But
okay,
Ezio
which one? The young one or the old one?
But Ezio was already in Soul Calibur 5.
Really, he was?
Yeah.
I don't remember. Probably because I played Soul Calibur 5 for about. I have the game. I played it for about an hour and then just never played it again. I was like, no, this is not for me.
No, it is the way it is.
They could kind of gone down a little bit.
Could add Desmond from Assassin's Creed. He's like basically D1. He's the one he's from the very first game.
Like the first.
Yep.
Comes out to represent, son.
I whatever game they do with Soul Calibur, I just want them to go back to basics.
That is so much stuff.
Well,
yeah.
They say that Soul Calibur 6 is going to be a reboot.
Fair enough. I wasn't happy that they turned Mitsurugi into this old dude. I'm like, I don't like this is like my favorite character, and you turned him to an old fart. Thanks a lot, asshole. You know?
Right.
But we wanted to be realistic. You have people fighting demons with swords, man. Realism. is not part of the
was out
equation.
the window.
So Microsoft is releasing an Xbox Game Pass to include Microsoft Studio titles on release date.
Does anyone
Well,
care?
yeah, I know. Go for them. Wish people buy them, pick the games, and wish them the best of luck.
Right now, Microsoft
is trying to cop
pushing-
people into a subscription service.
Yeah, Microsoft trying
Basically.
to sell people. Microsoft trying to sell people stuff right now is like when Capcom's like, "Hey guys, we got some more characters, Street Fighter V." At this point, you've missed your chance to get momentum for that game. So at this point, it doesn't matter.
Yep.
You know, I mean, I hate to say that, but
hey, Andre. Andre. Oh, he's muted. Okay.
Yeah,
All
he
right,
is.
go ahead.
he said Haomaru, Genjuro, SNK.
Yeah, for Soul Calibur. Throw him in there.
Oh, I forgot the name of that dude from Samurai Showdown. Like the main character, the samurai guy with
That's
the
Almo.
Yeah, I forgot. Yeah, put him in there.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Those characters trained in the same place and have like this blood feud against each other. So
That would work. That would work. I don't know where to go. Like the thing is, like there's so many games. Like the Soul Calibur, it's pretty much you have to be a character who uses a bladed weapon, which is why I was shocked they had Heihachi and Soul Calibur 2.
like when they did that, I was like, that is a bad choice. When there are so many characters, even at the time that Sony had that used weapons.
I mean, no Sir Dan Fortescue, who literally from Medieval, he just uses
I'm sorry,
swords.
but to me,
Yeah,
back
like-
then, the most obvious choice would have been freaking Kratos. Obvious.
That was before. That was before.
That was before Kratos.
Yeah,
Before
that was
God
so
of War.
That was before God of War came out. So yeah.
I guess they wanted
But
to
no, but there were games that were
Yes.
on. There were games that were on Sony at the time that were exclusive to Sony at that time. Like they could have even picked somebody from
They could have gotten Spike from
Legend
Anything like
Dragon.
that?
they picked a character from Tenchu and threw
Yeah,
it.
but
Sony
Legend of Dragoon isn't a Sony IP. It's a game that was exclusive to Sony, but it wasn't a Sony IP.
Tekken wasn't a Sony IP.
Tekken wasn't.
Yeah,
Yes.
I know, but Medieval is owned by Sony. It's a first party IP. That's what I'm saying.
I mean, that
I
was
guess they want to figure some character that's pretty popular back at the time because they couldn't use Yoshimitsu because he was already in the game to begin with.
And he
really,
started as
they
a
got
Tekken
into-
character. They put him in there. Yeah.
Hold on.
Yoshimitsu.
Okay.
because
Okay,
the
but-
Yoshimitsu lore is
Game
What
idea.
about
To me,
What about Real
I'm
Hayabusa?
looking in the chat now.
They already put him in.
Homaru and Genjiro, they're essentially the same. They're essentially Ryu and Ken.
I'd say they're more like Hanzo and Fuma from World Heroes, where their moves are similar, but
Yeah.
still quite a
Yep.
bit.
Different.
Whereas Genjiro, more or less, he was
Someone
like
just-
savage and savagery trying to kill you. Haomaru's more finesse. And they were both trained in the
Yes,
same
but
place.
even still, they're nothing but Shoto fighters with a different skin, more or less.
Yep.
Either way, like there's the rivalry of those characters. If you look at the characters I picked, there's a big rivalry or some
But-
sort of grudge between them. That's
To me,
what I was
another character that would make sense is a Capcom character. It's actually my favorite Capcom character, Strider.
with Strider,
Yeah.
but who
That's
would you?
another-
But then you have to
Strider,
pick Grandmaster as his opposite,
Yeah.
and that could be a problem.
And then there actually, if you're gonna go with this Capcom character, why not Saddam or Sodom?
Oh,
From-
Final Fight.
From Final Fight, but then
From,
but then
well,
you're
he was in
opposite.
Final Fight, but he also was in
Uses Street Fighter too.
Street Fighter Alpha.
But then who would you use as his opposite?
Rolento.
Nah, I would say Carlos from Final Fight 2.
No, I would say Rolento would be. He really would.
Nah.
I mean,
Rolento-
someone that wields batons.
Military guy who follows orders, and Saddam is a wannabe samurai. He's a
Yeah, but the problem is
You're a
they
wrestler.
often work together unless you're going to throw together a story where they massively butt heads and they want to kill each other.
they could have opposing philosophies, like because think about it. Sodom is essentially he's a wannabe samurai, so he must have some
He's a
type
Ronin.
of he's a wannabe. He's a wannabe samurai, so he has a code, whereas Relento's a military guy. He just follows orders. So they have this diametrically opposed in how they're going to, they work for the same organization, but how they accomplish their mission, completely different.
They just clashes with each other, yeah.
That could totally be the case. I would definitely want to see some characters from Guilty Gear end up in it too, like Chip Zena.
No. Guilty Gear is a little bit too over the top.
Yeah, it would be too much. Guilty Gear would be too much. Yeah.
What about
as much as I like Soul Bad Guy and Kai Kisuke?
Well, Soul Bad Guy is too damn powerful, really, to be in Soul.
This dude can literally
basically.
He can destroy a continent with his powers. So it's like, nah, dude, I don't.
That's why I said like Chip Zenoff, the guy that had the bladed arms.
Which one?
He had the blades that attached.
Chip Zenoff.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Chip Zenoff could work. Maybe Potemkin, but Potemkin is like he uses a weapon, but it's like gauntlets. It's not like conventional. Faust with that big ass sword.
Okay, well, I have another question though, and this is related, of course. Now we're talking about having what characters would translate well into a 3D, fighter such as Soul Calibur. Which ones would translate well to like a 3D non-weapon based like Tekken? Like to me, I want to see someone like Axel or Blaze from Streets of Rage end up in Tekken.
Oh, dude, you read my mind. I was already thinking. But me, I was thinking if they were going to do Streets of Rage, do the original 3, do Axel, Adam, and Blaze.
All right.
The original 3, and put them in Tekken.
Yeah, I agree. I don't care. Those other kids afterwards is like,
I like Skate.
Max could work. Max could work.
I have a martial arts character.
No, man, Adam was better than Skate.
I have a martial arts character I'd like to add. He'd be OP though, because he can suplex a train.
Of course.
He can suplex a train, so I don't really think that'd be fair to the other fighter.
I think some of the choices that they made for Tekken 7, they were good choices, but they could have made better choices. Because when they put Geese Howard in there, I was like, okay, where's Terry?
Yeah.
I can understand without Terry in there. Really, my thing is again, you put Noctis. I mean, Tifa would have been perfect for.
Yeah, she would. That's why I was like, why didn't they pick Tifa? Or
I mean, but you have to remember they're trying to push their newest Final Fantasy game.
Okay.
But it's not the most popular. The most popular is 7.
So they could have added Tifa into the market, the remake.
But you think that you think they would actually try to push 7, especially since they are working on a remake. But we won't talk about that.
That takes business.
They could have put Miss Lockhart in there. I would have been all over playing with her in that game. Like they would have put her and the dude from Advent Children that she fought in there as 2 characters in there.
Oh yeah.
Like,
yep.
I'd be all over them battles all day.
How well do you think characters like Terry Bogard and characters from World Heroes will translate open to a Streets of Rage type of beat 'em up game?
They translate very well. Because all you just have to, you would have to cut back their projectile moves, take those away from them, or make them very short range and just like only use them in special situations.
Kind of like how they did. Kind of like how they did in Final Fight 3.
Yeah, it's the same concept.
Yeah,
I think the perfect you can put in a Tekken would be Guy from Capcom side.
Yeah, I could see. I mean, but then again, all of those dudes, like Guy and Cody, could work in a
Cody's not in jail anymore. He's a mayor now.
Really? How they make him a mayor?
That is a 180. That is a 180 for me.
So what happened to Mike Hagar? Just retired?
He retired.
Oh yeah, that reminds me.
That would be another character I would love to see in
there was this tweet I found about a month ago that mentions the fates of Guy, Cody, and Mike Hagar. About how they died.
Well, they have to die at some point because we know in Captain Commando, Metro City's turned into a shithole again.
But
they still would Hagar work in Soul Calibur with that pole?
I found it there. I posted.
Would Hagar work in Soul Calibur with that pole?
You mean the pipe?
Yeah.
Yeah,
that would be hilarious, actually.
Oh yeah,
yeah, that would just be for the fun, yeah.
Hey, you know what?
Everyone else,
I got his perfect intro. I lay pipe for a living.
Oh my
Jesus!
No. No.
Leave it dark.
Yeah, I don't like this because that just makes the characters boring as hell.
Oh, you mean the characters' deaths?
Yeah, that just makes them sound boring. I don't like that.
That makes him sound like a perv. He's not a perv. Like Mike Hager.
Like Hager.
Dude. Wow, Cody fell head first into a sewer and died.
Yeah, I don't see Mike Hager as a perv. Like,
Yeah, nah.
because he got a daughter. Yeah, his daughter.
Like this is the dude that told all the citizens of his town, y'all need to go in the house and just hide food along the streets for me.
Yeah,
and handle the game.
Yeah, like this is a mayor. Like his daughter gets kidnapped by criminals. He doesn't call the SWAT. He doesn't call the police, the FBI, the CIA. He's like, I'll handle this shit myself.
Like, look, I'll take my little ninja buddy and my little boxing friend here. We gonna clean house.
Look, my daughter's boyfriend and my daughter's friend, we're gonna handle this shit ourselves. And then,
I think a great boss for the Tekken version. Don't laugh at me. I think a good boss, if a really cheap boss, would be Mr. X from Streets of Rage.
Oh no.
Belger in his wheelchair from Final Fight with his bow gun.
Oh, look, why don't you put them both in there and have them shoot each other to death?
All right.
But you know what's
And the final boss level is at the penthouse, and you can actually get a ring out and instant kill.
That actually would be cool.
Through a plate glass window.
But speaking about a boxing character for Tekken, why not Little Mac?
Little Mac, no.
Well, they're gonna have.
Okay, can I say something about Little Mac? He would be a little bit too ferocious for the Tekken characters. I think he'd be a little.
Because they have to make a Nintendo version.
Can you imagine him blocking the game with a KO punch?
Hell,
blocking the KO punch, it'd be over.
They would have to nerf him.
Adding or Bull instead.
They'd have to nerf Little Mac. Plus, he'd probably look kind of weird in Tekken.
No, he'd be short. He'd be short and fast. Short, they would have to nerf his speed and his strength.
Yeah.
If Smash is any indicator, they would definitely nerf the hell out of him. But if we're gonna talk boxing characters, then I would want Dudley from Street Fighter 3.
Yeah,
that's a good choice.
Balrog is kind of boring.
He's not a gentleman like Dudley is.
But a character that I'd like to see, if we're talking console exclusive characters, why not TJ Combo?
Oh, TJ Combo for actually, yeah, I would roll with that.
I would like to see character
though. If we already got Steve.
He's got
bionic arms, man. He's badass.
If there's one character I like to see,
it's like putting Jackson Tekken.
Yeah, but TJ Combo's more badass.
If there's one character I like to
see,
yep.
If there's one character I like to see added in Tekken, and also as well as to tick off all the fans, Ridley.
What? That makes no sense.
Yeah, it would make no sense for Ridley. It would make no sense for Ridley to be in Tekken. Even in Smash, but Tekken, nah.
That's the point. It's to tick off the Ridley fans who wanted him in Smash.
Look, we just look.
They didn't want him in Smash because they were never going to play him anyway.
Okay, you want to come on? Just put in this.
Here's what I do to put Ridley in Tekken. Put him in the background, make him fly around.
Make him a hazard. Yeah.
No, I got a good idea. They want Ridley in Smash. Okay, make him an assist trophy, but it's not big, huge, pterodactyl dragon Ridley. It's little cute Ridley from Other M. Yeah, he's in the game, folks. He's really in the game.
Okay, I got two characters I want to mention: Captain Falcon and Captain Commando.
For what game?
Captain Commando. Smash.
Commando. Yep.
I already said when I want those two characters.
Play out. That was
I already said I want those two characters to come into play. If they made like a Nintendo Capcom crossover fighting game,
I would like to just get a fighting game, beat them up together. Because Captain Falcon's a big time bounty hunter, and Captain Commando runs his own fleet, basically.
Well, I mean, isn't he like a cyborg police officer?
Yeah, he's a intergalactic police.
Oh, there you go.
So I mean, like the two of them, you can see the two of them working together though, and the quips that we be going back and forth, man.
Well, the bounty hunter who breaks all the rules, and a police officer who's rule bound. That'd be an interesting partnership.
I don't really think Captain Commando's very rule bound when he destroyed basically a whole city and a half.
But he is straight laced, as you can see the dialogue he has in Project Crossroads.
He was Metro City.
More straight laced.
The shithole. Come on.
Huh?
Metro City. Metro City's a shithole.
I would say he's definitely more straight laced than Captain Falcon, but I don't think he completely plays by the book.
No, and all they need to do is have like a black chief who yells at everybody, so that it could be like a typical cop drama from the '80s, except with these two characters.
No.
I mean, to be fair,
would he work?
Now that'd be the best. They go inside. They're like, "Okay, Chief, what's on the agenda today? You stupid sons of bitches! You blew up all of downtown. I got the mayor on the phone chewing on my ass.
I have another recommendation for a weapon-based character in the Soul Calibur game, and he was only in one other game that I could think of. Kadas.
Oh yeah,
Tatsunoko versus Capcom.
I would take him. Well, that's because he was only. That's because he's an anime character. Look,
that's Tatsunoko. That's not Capcom.
Yeah, that's
what I'm saying. But I know for a fact that he's only been in one other game. But I think he'd be a good weapon.
No, he's been in other. There's been other Robot Hunter Kara's games. It's just they didn't come to America, but
but Karas, I could see. I mean, his fighting stance was pretty cool in Tatsunoko versus Capcom.
Yeah,
they link together real well.
Yep.
Yeah, they can pull it off. Maybe his fated rival would be Captain Commando, because Robot Hunter Kara is ironically, he's a cyborg. he hunts machines. He's a cyborg. You can have Captain Commando's like, you don't see the irony of you being a cyborg, hunting other cyborgs? You don't see that?
Well, I mean, he hunts other cyborg demons. I mean, he don't really go for cyborgs himself.
Or instead of Captain Commando, they could have 8-Man from.
You took the words right on my.
8-Man from 8-Man.
8-Man from 8-Man and 8-Man after.
Yeah, 8-Man.
Yep.
Or even the Sins version of Casshern.
Yeah, they can have Casshern, yeah. With his, but they need to have his dog. They need to have his Robo Dog too.
Really sad.
They need to have his robot dog. It can't just be Casshern by himself.
Oh, you talking about Friender?
I forgot his name. They just
Friender.
Friender.
Forgot his name.
That dog, look, he is anything but a damn friend.
That dog's like a cyborg Doberman Pinscher. It's ridiculous.
That dog is vicious.
Yeah. It's like, get him! Oh shit, man.
But you really have the point. He just thinks.
I don't know how he was in the original. I only seen the reboot of that series.
Honestly, if I could put, what we should really do is think of like putting together an anime fighting game that is specifically anime characters that don't usually end up in games.
Oh, I'm not saying. Oh, you mean more than just like the typical like shonen characters, basically.
Yes, because I'm tired of shonen characters being everywhere.
Well,
But
I mean,
I
understand where
embrace
you're coming
more
from.
characters in my fighting games because nobody likes slice of life / moe anime characters.
Well, because no one wants to see them. No one wants to see them get viciously beat down. But there is one shonen character you'd have to add if you were going to do this, and that's Kenshiro from Fist of the North Star.
Oh, well. Okay, no, I couldn't just stop at him because if I put him in there, then I'm going to want Rao. I'm going to want Ray.
No, all you need is Kenshiro, and this has to be an M-rated fighting game where I get to see him do his "You're already dead. You have 3 seconds to live," and see a dude. Yeah, you can put the moe and slice of life characters, but Kenshiro's gonna kill him, and they're gonna die.
They've been characters. I mean, they've been in fighting games before. Like, what are you talking about? J-Star's Victory. That's the only.
But they're not commonly in fighting games. Not necessarily never been, but not commonly in them, or not commonly in any game.
Look, I just want to see cute anime characters get their head exploded by Kenshiro's Fist of the North Star, Hokuto Kingston.
Basically,
already dead.
Nani?
I have a question, guys. Do you think? Like, to me, this is my opinion, and you guys may agree with this, but to me, between Tekken and Virtua Fighter, Tekken is a more popular game, Virtua Fighter is a more technical and better fighter overall. You think Virtua Fighter is going to ever make a comeback?
It might. There's a chance it could, but it's a very slim chance because Tekken.
Not the way Sega's been running it.
When was the last Virtua Fighter game?
They keep following. They followed a trademark a few years back, but that was all. That was the most recent thing.
The problem with Sega, with Virtua Fighter, and this is something that Capcom, SNK, and Namco Bandai have all done, is that they've taken characters from their other franchises and put them in their fighting games. Whereas Sega has a slew of so many different beat 'em ups and characters that they could pull over from other like adventure games that were fighting type games. They never did it. They never attempted it. And they could have put the Streets of Rage characters in Virtua Fighter, or boy from Shenmue. I keep forgetting his name, Rio. But they could have put him in there. They could have put him in there, but they didn't want to do that. Whereas SNK said, okay, we got Fatal Fury, we got Art of Fight, we got Last Blade, Samurai Showdown. We go for all these characters from these different places, put them in King of Fighters, and still make original characters for it. Then Tekken has kind of done the same thing. And
it just
like Street Fighter has several times.
We all are fans of, back in the day, the old school main genres like beat 'em ups, bullet hell games. Of course, platforms. Now we've seen platformers take the new heights, especially with Mario Odyssey, Ukulele, and other games.
Now, Andre,
it's like, go ahead.
Sorry, Doc. But I have to correct Andre because Sega actually done that, but they done it back in the '90s, and it was Japan only. I forgot what the game's title, but they definitely.
You talking about Fighters Mega Mix? That wasn't Japan only.
Or was it fighting? Was that what it's called? Was it Fighting Viper?
Fighting Vipers was a 3D fighter that they had where you had armor parts on the characters that could be broken off.
Yeah.
Fighters Mega Mix was blending
had a Daytona car in it.
Virtual Fighters. It was blending Virtual Fighter and Fighting Vipers together.
Yeah.
And then they had other miscellaneous characters from their other franchises. Like you had Rena Hero was in there.
And then they took that same engine and they made Sonic the Hedgehog fighting game.
They had the freaking weird. They had Bark and I think
Dynamite.
Beat from freaking
Dynamite Duck.
Huh?
That's Beat. Not Beat.
Yeah, that's Beat.
Not Beat. Bean the Dynamite.
Being a
Dynamite.
dynamite.
Yes.
to me-
Thank you.
They had Bean the Dynamite and Bark in a fighter. They've only done one game like that.
Yeah, that was just one. Yes.
They did
Where's
one game
Knack
like
the
that and
Weasel?
gave up
Damn
on it.
it.
But just to me, there's a lot of old genres that I like. Like I said, we've seen the platformers get better with time in certain scenarios, and we see even some fighting games really get better, whether it be 2D, pseudo 3D, or whatever the case may be. Just one genre we have not seen that has come back and be better than it was before is the beat 'em up.
It's here. It's just.
I mean, I won't go that far. No, because hack and slash is a completely different thing. Beat 'em ups have their own like style of gameplay that's different.
This has like the same like base mechanics though, going around different places and then also people.
To me, the Batman games are the closest you can get to that. It had a good end.
Yeah, but that's more of like a superhero game where you're patrolling a city and doing stuff like that. The closest, the only modern beat 'em up that I can think of that has refined the genre and it's still a beat 'em up is Sega's Yakuza. That's the only one I can really think of that it's a modern beat 'em up game that you still have you going around beating the holy hell out of people, and it feels good to punch a dude's face in. Smash a dude's face into a brick wall.
Yeah, but they've basically reclassified those games into the brawler type now instead of just beat 'em ups. Whereas beat 'em ups, when I think of beat 'em ups, I think of you and a friend or a group of friends, and y'all got a squad together, and you going through beating the hell out of a massive game.
The closest modern games that are like that are things like maybe Castle Crashers or. Stuff like that. But I mean, almost every single company at some point had beat 'em ups. SNK had beat 'em ups with Neo Geo.
Oh, SNK had tons of beat 'em ups.
And I don't mean fighting games. I mean straight up scrolling from point A to point B, beating the shit out of everybody.
Technically speaking, I was just gonna. That's what I was trying to ask Andre in the first place when I was trying to call his name. I mean, I'm playing it right now. That Phantom Breakers.
Oh, I heard about that.
That is, I think that's up your alley, Andre, because it's basically fighting game mechanics with a beat 'em up.
Yeah,
light, medium, and strong attacks.
Yeah,
and also Yao in the chat say another Bushido blade would be nice. I can agree with that.
That'd be awesome.
Yeah, I could do with that.
Yeah, if Sega could get their heads out their butts and get their stuff straightened out, hey, another Guardian Heroes game would be nice too.
I mean, there's tons of games that I would like to see. Like I would like to see another Shinobi.
I want Capcom to give us Power Stone 3. That's it.
Or they
just give us more fighting games than just Street Fighter, like Rival Schools of Darkstalkers.
Thank you, Rival Schools.
I would agree with you.
I love that game, and
I would agree with you, but Darkstalkers just feels like a reskin Street Fighter to me.
That's really all it is. It still had mechanics that were cool and exclusive to it.
It did have things that were exclusive to it that were not in Street Fighter, and on top of that, you got monsters, man. Why can't we have Frankenstein beat the hell out of
but Rival Schools to me like the best story play of any fighting game. And then the first game had all those mini games on that second disc. That game was addictive, and those team up moves were epic.
It's too bad that Rival Schools roster are underage for anyone to claim as their husbandos or waifus.
Dude, why?
Dude, that was worse in that game.
No one was thinking about that, dude.
Rival Schools got released today. It'll be more than a few waifus in that game.
Yeah, it would be. Hold on, look.
No one is lusting after a fictional character. I think.
I'm sorry, but if you do want that, there is the nurse.
Oh, come on. Nothing. No.
And the volleyball player.
Natsu?
And the girl Tiffany.
Tiffany, yeah. Tiffany would be that. But I mean, before it's like
it gets out of hand.
But that nurse, hold on. But the nurse, she broke every extremity on your body with her special move. She broke both your arms, your leg, your neck, your back.
She broke everything.
That was an ultimate chiropractic care.
Well, she didn't really break them, but she didn't break them.
I'm just saying.
She was basically massaging you she will massage you to get better when she did it, because you basically that was a helpful move.
No, he's talking about her super where she ran up and grabbed you.
No, she would grab you and break you in like 5 different spots.
Yeah, where she would grab you, she would break both your arms at the shoulder, get both your legs, and then snap your neck.
With those long legs wrapped around your neck.
She didn't do that in Project Justice.
Yeah, that's what she did.
Schools.
No, she didn't do the Project Justice. She did not do the Project Justice. Now that I remember.
I've played with the character enough to know.
All right, I'll play tonight because I don't remember she doing that movie Project Justice.
She runs up on you and grabs you. Maybe you just never got caught with it.
No, I ain't that I got caught with. I mean, I always play with all the characters for a game like that.
Because she had that, and then she had that kick move where she kicked you into the air. I remember that one too.
Yeah, it was basically like a super launcher for an air combo.
Yeah.
I mean the Rival Schools character is not a Japan-only franchise. Does that mean that it came out of the West?
Yeah,
it came out over
in
here.
the US.
Rival Schools was the first game. Then they had a remake of that was only in Japan. That was for PlayStation. And then Project Justice came out over here on Dreamcast.
Because I thought it was always a Japan-only franchise.
No. I mean, there are a lot of games that kind of like didn't do that well here in America, so you probably never knew that they,
Never knew about it. Yeah.
I know
the Rival series is literally a spin-off of Street Fighter.
Yeah,
because of Saka's appearance.
Yeah, she was in the first one.
Yeah, chronologically, that was the first game. Then it was Street Fighter Alpha 2. Chronologically,
They should have done is keep her in that series. They should have kept her in it.
A lot of Street Fighter games a lot of the games Capcom has are spin-off of Street Fighter. Like
Final Fight.
Like Final Fight is a spin-off of Street Fighter, but also, but here's the thing:
just insane.
Captain Commando is a spin-off. Is technically a spin-off of Street Fighter 2 because it takes place in Metro City, which is
Captain Commando is a spin-off of a spin-off.
Yep, even though Captain Commando came out before Final Fight.
Yeah,
and just
wasn't Captain Commando in Sector Z or something like that? Sector Z.
I just hate they abandoned him as a character because he really is a cool character. Would be a damn good mascot for them.
Yeah,
he was a mascot.
He was the mascot until Mega Man came out.
I know, but to me, he was still a much cooler mascot, man. Like I love him in Marvel vs. Capcom. He's a great character.
It's like they they completely forget him for everything. It's like,
what you think Capcom is going to pin Ryu down for Captain Commando?
Yeah, but to be fair though, let's keep it real. Captain Commando has still got more love than poor Alex Kidd.
Sure.
Oh yeah.
Oh my gosh.
And speaking of Alex, do you think Sega should revive that franchise?
No.
Yeah, they should. No, they should. But with
all they got is
team.
All they got is Sonic and Yakuza, and if you live in Japan, Phantasy Star Online. That's it.
Alex Kidd is terrible. It was bad then.
But that doesn't mean they can't. Yeah, they can't make
it. Could be redone.
Well, I'm sorry.
Look, man. Look. Would you trust
Sega
right now with a 2D franchise?
Better talent.
Yeah, they go for it. Yeah, they only got 4 franchises they basically care about: Sonic, Yakuza. They just did Puyo Puyo, and then they got in Japan only Phantasy Star Online.
Which will never be localized because
at least Alex Kidd looks more timeless than Sonic Hedgehog, who depends on trends. Cool trends, that is.
No, Sonic depends on fans. Fans make better Sonic games than Sega does right now.
Oh man, that's a low blow. Come on, Andre, that is a low blow.
Look, it's not a low blow if it's true. It got quiet. I guess that joke just destroyed the
internet.
It's like it's a low blow. I'm like, it's not a low blow. It's true. And I guess that was too far.
Sonic Mania's prime example is to why fans are doing better with Sonic than Sega is because they know where Sonic is supposed to be.
Well, that and the fact that Sega lost most of their talent who made the Sonic games, and the people who stayed behind apparently weren't good enough to leave. So now Sonic
Yuji Naka is joining Square Enix.
Yeah, I don't know how to feel about that.
We won't drag out the Sonic conversation. I'll go ahead and end the podcast here. We'll continue off air because I know people may have something to do. But go ahead and give your outros before we sign off.
And so, this is from Video Game Facts. Be sure to visit our website, Video Game Facts on Discus, where we talk about facts and opinions of what's surrounding the game sphere. And that'll be all.
Yeah. Actually, I don't have an outro.
This is Mr. Red Fox. We will be doing a question-a-thon before the end of January, so look forward to that. I will be giving you the link for where you can leave your questions for the question-a-thon for the end of January at this upcoming BS Busters. You know, we have BS Busters every Sunday, 7 to 8:30. Sci-Fi Power Hour may or may not go off this Saturday, so it's a 50-50 chance. But definitely BS Busters this Sunday, 7 to 8:30.
All right. And Triple M?
I don't have an outro, but I have to bring up one thing. A couple of podcasts ago, I saw in the side chat that someone said, someone wrote that the Switches are basically screw you to all Wii U owners, and I'm like, I'm sorry, but there's a reason why Nintendo basically did that move, because just about everybody screamed from all over here in Japan, and maybe the entire galaxy, to say Nintendo needs to kill off the Wii U. So there you go. So in a way, who's to blame here? But
I would agree.
See you around, guys.
Yeah, Sprite.
All right, Sprite Remix here. Gonna try to upload a couple of videos, just some gameplay, just see. Nothing else better to do. So yes.
Yeah,
you got nothing else better to do.
I really don't. Aside from playing Splatoon 2, Doc, and some other games I've been working on lately. And that's it.
Say, Sprite, could you do me a favor? Could you,
Yes.
could you record anyone that's basically
Okay, that's what it
had
is.
had a freaking meltdown?
Huh?
Yeah, like
That's what
I had to do that out off air because I didn't hear it either.
Record videos of people having meltdowns or something.
Oh, I just go to YouTube. You see plenty of those.
And what about you, Liger?
Exactly. Basically, so basically, just like I want to have Enduro. Got done really as much as just check out the channel. Just did a thing about how if you want a cheap controller option for your Switch, if you're a Wii U Pro controller, basically use that and it works pretty good. It don't have the gyro, but controller that feels comfortable and it has the Nintendo grade of Nintendium on it. You're pretty good.
Oh boy.
That's good. And yeah, the moves that you guys described, Andre, she does it, but she doesn't do what you guys said. That's what got me thrown off. She don't break your neck or none of that stuff. That's what I was like.
Maybe it's extreme stretches. She's
yeah, that's what she does. I got it right now on my Dreamcast playing, and I was like, okay, it is called Final Prescription, but she don't break your neck. She like flips. She grabs you, holds you, puts you down, and do like what do you call it? That little wrestling move where you pull the legs back.
Oh, figure four leg lock.
What was it? No, figure four leg lock. Boy, Ric Flair used to do it. Like he just bent backward with it, and then she stretched your arm out, and then that's where she pops it.
Boston Crab or something. There's a lot of different moves. It's too many different things to think of right this moment.
Okay, no, I just remember when you said the neck and she grabbed you. I was like, I've never seen her do that. I'm just mentally, I just couldn't remember it.
She don't break her neck. She breaks basically everything else. So it's got a point.
She's giving your body some extreme stretches. That's enough.
Yeah, that's basically what it is. No, I'm literally playing. I'm playing on Dream Project Justice right now on Dreamcast, and that's why I wanted to see the moves.
You know what? That gave me a thought. Final Prescription. Doc, did you get that from her?
I just want those legs around. That's all I care for.
No, it's not. Because again, and then you gotta fight her husband. Then you gotta fight her husband, which he's basically the Ryu
Ryu of the game. He's the very slow, powerful Ryu.
Hiduku.
Don't ask hey man.
No, Hideo.
Lusting after fictitious people.
Hey man,
Video.
Hell. Hey.
Well, all right. What was I going to say? Y'all made me lose my train of thought. See, this is what happens when I talk with y'all. I lose my train of thought.
It's gonna get worse when the podcast goes off air.
I just put up an announcement video for my channel. Well, my family and I are going to do a YouTube channel together.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of people have been look every now and again. I get the question like, when you gonna do videos with your wife and kids? I'm like, my wife and I talked about it. The kids want to do it. They're gonna do a bunch of different stuff that we're gonna like sort out and work with them on. And I'm still going to be doing my channel separately of that, but I'm also going to be doing stuff over there too. So
Sounds like fun.
I'll give an official announcement of the channel when it launches. Like
so
right now,
another version of Gabe and Babe.
What?
You ever heard of Gabe and Babe?
Nope.
It's like a popular YouTube couple. My wife watches them. She wants to do something similar with me, which I'm down for, but I don't see us getting 5 million subscribers or whatever, but who knows?
This is like
Man,
people like
after
to
subscribers, you do it for fun.
people like to look into other people's lives and stuff like that. I mean, I'm not going too deep and personal with it.
That's the thing I never understood. But hey, to each their own, because I never can live vicariously to people on the internet.
Yeah. If there are some things I can help my kids with and help them express their creativity, I'm for it. So that's the main purpose of this channel, is to get their creativity expressed the ways that they want to, and as another outlet for the family. And there will be some gaming stuff there, but it won't be all gaming stuff. It'll probably be like 15% gaming stuff and a lot of other stuff on it. So, and I'm going to be helping them get all the videos and stuff set up, because my daughter tried to be sneaky and do her own YouTube channel. And I got wind of it.
Is she too young to have her own YouTube channel? Because I heard that you have to be at least 13 years old to have your own.
Yeah, you do have to be at least 13, and she kind of bypassed that rule. So I was like, no, we're shutting that down.
Smart kid
right now. like immediately shutting that down, and plus it was her full name, and I wasn't really cool with that. So
down with that. Yeah.
But nah. Once we figure out a channel name and I can work on making a banner and all that stuff, and we can set up our videos and stuff, like, it's going to take a minute. It might not happen until like the middle of next month sometime, but it's going to take a minute. Plus, we're going to be moving soon, so I've got a bunch of stuff I'm already trying to do and take care of. So there's a lot going on all at once. But that's it for me. Everybody enjoy your games and have fun laughing at each other.
And I'm your humble host, Dr. Feelgood. I want to thank all the viewers for tuning in, and as I always say, keep it gaming and stop playing Destiny 2, please.
Stop drinking.
And focus more on body pillows.